Chelsea Football Club is the hidden club that is exposed to be putting in an offer for Julian Alvarez in the next few days. These are strong, reliable reports coming out with context. We're breaking it down because this is breaking news. Sesko now. What's going to happen with that deal? Because he's making his decision in the next few days. And what I find interesting is both of them next few days. Fabrizio Romano, Argentinian media, all in the next few days. I think these deals are entwined. Let's get into it. Marcin Bulka. For those of you that don't know about this guy, used to be a Cobham graduate, went to Nice, went to PSG, and now it looks like Chelsea are trying to bring him back. Yes, and finally, Jose Mourinho, the godfather of Chelsea, the man that is actually part of the reason why a lot of Chelsea fans support them that are under the age of 25, 26. And he has decided to take shots against the club. Yes, I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to have to tell Mr. Jose a little bit about himself, because you come for the club, you come for the badge, meaning we have to defend it. But the reality is, I need you lot to hit the like button. I want 1,000 likes on this video. Honestly, you hit 1,000 likes, the video goes out, more people see it, we grow this community. Do that for me. Secondly, if you're enjoying what you're seeing so far, you like the energy, you like the vim, subscribe to the channel. It's the best way you can support, and it will literally help the channel grow and reach new people, and hopefully one day I can get guests on that are going to be ex-footballers or something like that, and we can discuss football. But let's get into it. Julian Alvarez. Let's talk about him. So first of all, what we need to talk about is that the media in Argentina knows these players very well. There are certain segments of the media that get exclusives all the time. Everything about the Olympics was coming through Argentina when Enzo wanted to go. Enzo coming to Chelsea, it was breaking first in Argentina. Any little details revolving Chelsea and an Argentinian player, the links always start in Argentina. It always stems from there. So this, when it came out a few days ago, a lot of people brushed it under the carpet. I brushed it under the carpet. I said he wants a new contract. I literally said, I don't believe this, because why would Chelsea right now go after Julian Alvarez in that number 9 role? But, and this is where it gets very interesting. The journalist didn't only just come out and say hidden club. Now he's put context to the story. The story is as this. PSG made an inquiry to Manchester City and the entourage of Julian Alvarez. Chelsea spoke to Julian Alvarez's entourage and told them in the next few days there will be an offer coming in for the player. Other clubs such as Atletico Madrid have spoken, but they can't afford him, and they're not going to put a bid in. This is the news that we know at this moment in time. Furthermore, it is getting communicated that Julian Alvarez will be looking to leave Manchester City for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, he wants first team football. He wants to play, he wants to feel important, and I did mention this when we spoke about this 2 days ago. The guy just wants to be loved. I think he's tired of winning and being in the shadow of Erling Haaland. He's tired of making bit part appearances here and there, even though he played 54 games and 3,500 minutes. So he's hardly a bit part player. And the second thing, the city that the club is in will be considered. I think the guy doesn't want to live in Manchester. That is as simple as that. I think he most probably lived in Manchester a little bit and realized this isn't for me. I want to be in a major city. I want to be in a city where most probably I can speak my native tongue. Somewhere where I can go around and be more comfortable. Trust me, in London he's going to find Spanish communities everywhere. Literally, he wants an Argentinian barbershop, within minutes he'll find it. He wants to go get some Spanish food or Argentinian food or Colombian food or some Latino food, he will find it. London, for that, is perfect. Like any type of food, any type of community you want to find, you'll find it. You'll find home outside of your country and you'll feel welcome. And that is the allure of Chelsea. He's got the city, and more importantly, first team football. Finally, Enzo Fernandez has been putting up a lot of pictures. And you know what? Normally, people will say it's a coincidence. I've always been told there's no such thing as a coincidence, all right? There is patterns, there is trends, and in this case, why is Enzo consistently putting pictures up with him? A lot of you are going to say they played together at River Plate, they're best friends. Enzo has not been putting up any pictures with him recently, right? All of a sudden now they're on international duty every 5 minutes. Only Alvarez, oh, another picture of Alvarez, oh, another picture of Alvarez. You think they're not talking about this? You think Enzo's not in his ear, putting his arm around his shoulder? Listen, big man, come join me. We need a number 9. Nico's missing a lot of chances. We can use you in that number 9 role. You know people are like that. And you know he's got his arm around him. And you know Julian Alvarez is a very good player. The fit, we can talk about another day. Whether he suits the system, whether it's the right, acquisition, but we know he's a baller. And for me, I think the fact that Chelsea are going to put a bid in a few days' time is very coincidental. And like I said, there's no such thing as a coincidence. Let's break into it, what I mean by that. What do we know? We know Chelsea have been chasing Benjamin Sesko like crazy, right? His agent has been everywhere. I've told you guys about this in other videos. He's literally 1 week at United, 1 week at Arsenal, 1 week at Chelsea, back to United. He's rotating around these clubs and he's publicly doing it. He's literally putting up pictures at all these places, story. He's like somebody that just downloaded Instagram and he's getting like absolutely addicted to all of the instructions on it. And he's like, oh my God, let me just post my food. But the reality is, it looks like this man has got 5 offers for his player. It's been reported by Fabrizio Romano. Saudi Arabia, 30 million a year. Leipzig, new contract. Manchester United, Chelsea and Arsenal have bids on the table. Fabrizio Romano saying, and Benjamin Sesko picks in the next few days. First of all, I would take that with a pinch of salt. Reason I'm saying this, I would take that with a pinch of salt. Fab does stuff like this all the time. All right, Fab most probably got told, oh yeah, we'll make a decision in the next few days. And then in a few days' time, he's like, oh, what's the decision? You know what? We'll wait. Because what's the rush? What is the rush? Everyone's going to the Euros. Everyone's going to be playing at the Euros. This player most probably is going to be either chilling. I don't know if his country qualified. So the reality is this man's just having a relaxing period. He's most probably on holiday somewhere. Like he gets back from holiday and he'll make his decision. At this moment in time, he wants to enjoy, put his feet up, relax on a yacht somewhere, most probably with his girlfriend or his wife or whoever he has in his partner. And they're literally on a boat just chilling. He most probably is smoking a cigar, having delicious food and enjoying himself. Do you really think he's got time to be making decisions like this when he's not in no rush? So the reality is for me is we'll know in the next few days or when he makes his decision. What I think is happening, and I think Sesko's the first choice. I think Chelsea are about willing to give him whatever he wants. If Sesko doesn't go for Chelsea, they go for Alvarez. Alvarez is the plan B. This is Chelsea setting up a contingency plan, but the problem is this became too public now, where it's literally become Alvarez versus Sesko. And I might make a video tomorrow on Alvarez versus Sesko, which one I think would be, or would you prefer me to do a scouting report the way I did it for Kavkas and Osimhen? Let me know in the comments below if you are interested in that, where I talk about the strengths and the weaknesses of the player in good detail from the fact that I've watched them rather than the fact that you just read a piece of a scouting report from somebody that's just put some generic stuff up there. Especially Alvarez, I can go into very good detail. But that's the news so far. When it comes to goalkeeper, I calmed a lot of you lot down because the news about Sanchez was out in full throttle. Ooh, Sanchez, ooh, Chelsea are going to get Sanchez. Chelsea really wants Sanchez. Ooh, he's going to stay, right? So he's going to be the #1. No, I told you lot. Be patient. We heard the exact same thing last year. We saw the same thing. Oh, Kepa's going to be Pochettino's #1. Kepa was going to Real Madrid. The club is trying to keep an asset happy. Most probably, Sanchez's agent picked up the phone, rang Chelsea, hey, what's going on? We've got a 6-year deal. Why is my client being undermined in public like this? Chelsea put a few briefs out just to shut him up, you know. Oh yeah, we're really happy with Robert Sanchez. Maresca's going to be using him. Stuff like that happens all the time. We see it all the time. However, Chelsea now, according to L'Equipe, is monitoring and being linked with strongly with Marcin Bulka. Marcin Bulka is a goalkeeper, I think, that is 24 years old. He is a very good shot stopper, very good distribution, tall, strong, came out of Cobham, would count as a homegrown player, which is actually very amazing. And this is where it gets interesting. Marcin Bulka would be kind of cheap. He genuinely would be under 20 million euros, I think, because he's got a year left on his deal. He's leaving Nice. And a lot of people are going to say, well, you see, we should have kept him in the first place, because I've already seen that narrative. I'm going to tell you why that narrative is dangerous, and the fact that a lot of people are just saying that now because they want to either beat on the old ownership, or they don't like the current ownership, and everything is anti-Cobham, right? So anything that happens, any player that gets released, anti-Cobham. Let's be honest about this. 1920. He went to PSG, played 1 game. 2021, he ended up going from PSG on loan to Spain. From Spain, he terminated loan, went straight on loan to 2nd Division France. Altogether that year, he played 14 games. Then he went to Nice, 6 games, 5 games, and only last year he played 38 games and became this bona fide #1. What does that tell you? It tells you the brother needed time to develop. He needed time to develop, he needed to come into his own, he needed to grow into his body and actually learn how to be a number one. He wouldn't have had that time, he wouldn't have had that patience at Chelsea Football Club. He would have been stuck behind Kepa, then he would have been stuck behind Mendy, then he literally would have been stuck and stuck and stuck until this present day, and most probably we would have moved him on because the ideology would have been, he's not good, even though you never gave him a chance. So the reality is, he did what was best for him, he moved on, he most probably made a heck of a lot of money at PSG, and now he's good enough to come in and start for Chelsea, and that's great. I actually think more young players should leave and go play football. Even though he took a calculated gamble and it didn't work out for him, I respect his gamble. I actually think it's a very good gamble that he did. Too many players are happy to sign a contract, sit on a bench and do nothing. Next thing you know, they're 24 years old, they haven't even played 100 league games. Like, it's absolutely a joke. The last bit of news is actually very entertaining for me because for those of you that know, my GOAT of managers is Jose Mourinho, right? As in, Jose Mourinho is a huge part of why I love Chelsea as much as I love Chelsea. Because the fact of the matter is, I was around 7 when Jose Mourinho came in, and my young football memories started forming at that age. That's when I started watching football properly. That's where I was actually eager to find out more about the game. So when Chelsea were winning all the time as well, it literally, Jose was the talisman for me, right? Jose was the main man. Jose was the GOAT. Everything about Jose, the way he dressed, the way he spoke, the way he was a boss, the way the players loved him, the charisma he had, everything about him, I rated. This is where I find it very difficult to be negative about Jose Mourinho. However, Jose Mourinho came back after we won a league title, yada yada yada. You know the story. He's got 3 Premier Leagues with us. He's went off, he managed Manchester United, Spurs. I never ever berated him for that. You know what? Because Jose is our GOAT. However, now Jose has got himself a little job in Fenerbahce, you know, in Turkey. Them ones where he's got a lovely little job, and Jose wanted to butter up the new fans that he has and basically said, I have a house in London, 20 minutes from me, I could get a job easily, and I wouldn't know whether I'm finishing 6th, 7th or 8th and be celebrating securing Europa League football. And he took direct shots basically at Spurs and us. What I find funny is that there's no self-awareness from Jose Mourinho there, because like I said, I love Jose Mourinho. However, I like when people have self-awareness and when people are genuine in what they say, because you need to say what you say and say what you mean. And Jose didn't say what he said. He put the grey there and he wants to butter up the Fenerbahce fans, and he's basically shitting on us Chelsea fans. Jose, let me tell you something about the last 9 years of your career. 9th at Roma, 6th and 6th at Roma, 7th with Spurs, 6th, 6th, 2nd. That 2nd is 8 years ago, my friend. Prior to that, 6th, 16th. The average of that, I don't even need to do it, is 6th for 7. You've had one anomaly of 16th with Chelsea where you got sacked, one anomaly with Manchester United when you finished 2nd. Everything else, you're 6th to 8th to 9th. So please cut out the rubbish about, oh, certain clubs there's no ambition, or we're gonna fight for a Europa League. For the last decade, right, since I was 17 to present day, you've been fighting for what? You've been fighting for Europa League spot. So cut out the rubbish. I don't want to hear it. I think it's toxic. I don't think it's needed. This fan base still adores you. So when you say nonsense like that, it's a slap in the face. He's just bitter that they didn't give him the job. He wanted to stay in London. He wanted the Chelsea job, and the new ownership didn't want to do it. And I don't blame him. He's not good enough to manage this club anymore. If we want to get to where we want to get to, his football is not the way to do it. Under this manager in Enzo Maresca, I think we have a better chance of getting further in cups, in actually implementing a system and actually winning the league one day. Under Jose Mourinho, no thank you. I don't want to watch the way we're going to play, where we literally hold on to our dear lives and then hit on the break, steal a 1-0 win and celebrate, oh, but we had 30% possession, but we got the goal. No thank you. I want to dominate games, I want to implement a system, and I actually want to build something. So that's just my opinion. A lot of you will disagree. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. And yeah, like I said, let me know if you want to hear the Kavkas Scout on Alvarez and Benjamin Sesko. Peace out, I'm out. Have a lovely day. Make sure you hit the like button on the way.